Hey, what's up? It's Nathan here with thebtccourse.com, and in this video I want to talk about people that think Bitcoin is too expensive or that they are too late to buy it. So I've heard this comment by several people, and I found there are several reasons why people say it, so I'm going to cover all four in this video. So number one, some folks see the $30,000 price tag, or whatever it might be, and think, wow, that's way too much. It's as much as a car. And yes, it is as much as a car, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's too expensive. Like they're not comparable items. Bitcoin is its own asset class, and no one truly knows what is or isn't expensive for Bitcoin. Now, most people that say Bitcoin is too expensive go out and look for an altcoin that's less than $1 in the hopes that it'll go to $1 and they'll be rich. After all, Bitcoin is $30,000. Why can't another coin go to $1? That should be pretty simple, right? So they'll go out and buy something like SHIB. So we got SHIB over here that we're looking at. $0.0000818. And so if it goes only to $1, like that sounds simple, that'll be 122,249 X return. Or let's just say, maybe $1 is kind of outrageous. So what if it only goes to a lowly penny? That's still a 1,222x return, and it's not as good as 122,000, but it's fine. So when using human logic and not actually looking at the numbers, it kind of sounds logical, right? So there's one crypto worth $30,000. Why couldn't this other one just hit a simple penny? Like it just sounds like 30,000, 1 penny. Like it kind of sounds reasonable. But what people fail to look at is the total supply of a token. So SHIB's total supply is 589 trillion. Not to mention, no one knows if that's actually the final number, but that's another story regarding decentralization. So for SHIB to get to $1, the market cap would be $589 trillion, which is more than the entire financial system. So we have the entire financial system right here at $510 trillion. So SHIB would need to be worth more than the entire financial system to be $1 per token. Now, for SHIB to get to that 1 penny, the market cap would have to be $5.9 trillion, which is about half of the gold's market cap. And the point is, SHIB ain't never going to $1 ever. And for it to hit a penny, you need something magical to happen. You need sovereign nations, hedge funds, wealth managers, etc. to buy SHIB instead of something like gold or Bitcoin. And right now, they're barely buying Bitcoin, much less a centralized token called SHIB. So the point of this is, just because something looks cheap compared to Bitcoin doesn't necessarily mean that it is. Alright, so another category of people that say Bitcoin is too expensive is that they think that they have to buy a whole Bitcoin, and that is definitely not the case. You do not have to buy a whole Bitcoin because Bitcoin breaks down into 100 million parts called Satoshis, or sats for short. So one sat right now is about $0.0002931. So you can buy 3,411 sats for $1. And I have a little converter right over here. So one sat is this amount, or you can just do, $1, and you can see how many sats you could buy for $1. And really, if you just focus on stacking sats, eventually you may find yourself in possession of a whole Bitcoin. So you just, stack a few dollars worth of sats a day, and over time your Bitcoin stack grows and grows and grows. The third thing people say when they say Bitcoin is too expensive is that they'll wait for the price to drop to X dollars before I buy it. And so, yeah, this sounds like a good idea. However, most people that say it don't actually do it when the price drops because they're scared it'll drop even further and they won't get the lowest price. Now, I know I've personally done this earlier on. I'm like, I'll wait till Bitcoin drops to $40,000 and then it drops to $40,000 and I don't buy it because I think it might drop even lower. And in my case, it just so happened to do that, but it doesn't always work out like that. So what if it doesn't actually drop down to your goal and you miss out? Will you be able to stay out, or will you FOMO in? And this stands for fear of missing out. So you'll be like, oh shoot, I missed the boat. I need to throw all my money into Bitcoin because it's going to the moon right now. And you get in at an even higher price than you could have had you just stayed humbled and simply stacked sats or dollar cost average into the market. So maybe you don't time the bottom perfectly, but you also don't FOMO in at the top. So it's just a thought. I'm definitely not a financial advisor, but I know how my emotions work, and dollar cost averaging is the best option for me. And oftentimes it's the best option for anybody because it's just way too hard to time the market. All right, the number 4 reason people say what they do is they think that they are too late. And I'm going to be honest with you, everybody thinks that they are too late. So I've listened to podcasts and seen forum posts where people in 2012 thought that they were too late, or in 2010, 10,000 Bitcoins was a good price for 2 pizzas. I'm sure you've heard of Bitcoin Pizza Day, where somebody spent 10,000 Bitcoins for a couple of pizzas. And you can see it was May 18th, 2010. So why would you give away 10,000 Bitcoins if you thought it was going to go up to $100,000 of Bitcoin? And like I already said, everyone always thinks they're too late or the price isn't going to go up any more than it already has. Like, it already peaked at 69,000. That's the highest it's ever going to go ever again. Now, personally, I think the worst case for Bitcoin is a replacement for gold, which would put Bitcoin around $500,000 per Bitcoin. Now, anything under that, and I'm going to be a heavy buyer. And once we hit that price, I'll reevaluate Bitcoin's potential. Maybe all of a sudden, the Federal Reserve starts buying Bitcoin, China starts buying Bitcoin, all the nation states start buying Bitcoin, they back their treasuries with Bitcoin, and sky's the limit. Bitcoin becomes the universal monetary supply, and it goes up to $10 million per token or something like that. But let's just try and get to 500,000 first, okay? So that's just my personal projection for Bitcoin's price. You will need to do your own research, obviously, into Bitcoin and come up with what you think it can reach. But I want to do a couple of examples. So let's say that I'm 90% sure Bitcoin will go to $500,000. Then Bitcoin's value to me is $450,000. And anything under that price, well, I should be buying it probably. Now, maybe you're 10% sure it'll only go to Greg Foss's $2 million estimate by 2030. So a prominent ex-fund manager pegs Bitcoin at $2 million by 2031. And in this little video right here, he explains how he gets to that $2 million estimate easily. So you can check that out if you're interested. But let's say you're like, yeah, sure, that's like a 1 in 10 shot to getting to $2 million. Well, then your Bitcoin would be, worth $200,000. So anytime Bitcoin's under $200,000, maybe you should be stacking some sats. Now, maybe you're 80% sure it'll hit $69,000 again. That sounds kind of reasonable, right? Like, it's done it before. Like, yeah, it probably will do it again based off of, how Bitcoin has behaved previously. So I'm like 80% sure Bitcoin's going to hit $69,000 again, which will put it at $55,000 per Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin's price is under that target, maybe it's time to stack some sats. And so I just wanted to throw that out there real quick, some scenarios you could run and see if you should start buying some Bitcoin. But in summary, those are the 4 primary reasons behind when someone says Bitcoin is too expensive or that they're too late. And I just wanted to address them in case you or someone you care about falls into some of those categories. And, I know some people that I care about that have these same questions and thoughts and won't take action because they think it's too expensive or they're too late or they don't realize that they don't need to buy a whole Bitcoin at one go. And of course, if you want some more Bitcoin information, I have a free website with a bunch of video training and other resources over here at thebtccourse.com. So I have a section on orange pilling yourself, Bitcoin basics, how and where to buy Bitcoin, software wallets, hardware wallets, multi-sig wallets, the Lightning Network, miscellaneous Bitcoin tutorials, and Nostr. So, of course, links to everything in the description down below. And that is it for this video. I hope you have a great rest of the day.